Okay, so let's talk about life. If you sometimes look around, maybe you look back at things, and you feel like the universe has kind of singled you out for, well, let's call it special treatment. And I don't mean the good kind. I mean, extreme stress, maybe constant setbacks, failures, detours that just feel deeply unfair.
Yeah, that feeling. That heavy why me feeling.
Exactly. That why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me burden. That's actually what we're diving into today.
Right. We've got this really powerful source material here. It's basically a transcript exploring a complete overhaul, like a philosophical shift in how we deal with suffering, with adversity.
Okay.
Our mission really is to unpack the steps laid out here. How do you move away from that sort of default victim mode and replace that internal story with, well, genuine mental resilience? We're reframing your life, essentially, as this perfectly designed video game curriculum.
A video game curriculum. Okay, I like that framing. Let's unpack that initial feeling, though. The source talks about starting from this place of, and I quote, "I have a black belt in woe is me."
Yeah. That's relatable, isn't it? It means, when something went wrong, maybe you lost a job, money got tight, a relationship ended.
Right.
The automatic thought wasn't, okay, how do I solve this? It was something else.
It was accusatory, wasn't it? The source says the default was, this is happening because there's something fundamentally wrong with me.
Exactly. Or even, life just isn't fair. I'm just destined to struggle. And that viewpoint, well, it immediately puts you on the defensive, right? You're in this constant battle with the world.
Yeah, every challenge feels like proof you're not good enough.
Precisely. It's personal evidence of inadequacy.
And that mental loop, it's just vicious. We've all got versions of that script, haven't we? Why is my luck always so bad? Or why can't things just be easy for me for once?
Totally. And the big realization in the source material was, well, pretty blunt. That old way of seeing things just sucked.
Yeah.
It was painful, it didn't help, and it basically guaranteed you'd stay stuck.
Right. So what triggered the change?
The fundamental insight, the thing that really forced the shift, was simple but really profound. It's this. Your thoughts create your feelings, and then your feelings. They drive your actions.
Okay, makes sense.
So if the feeling you're constantly swimming in is victimhood, guess what kind of actions you're going to take?
Victim actions. Resisting things, maybe quitting, getting resentful.
Exactly. So the first real step wasn't about changing the external situation. It was about noticing and then changing the thoughts that were creating that feeling of being a victim.
Okay, so if that old pattern keeps you locked in victimhood, what's the alternative?
The source mentions the speaker started looking at really successful people, athletes, CEOs, writers.
Right. And the common thread wasn't that these people had easy lives or avoided challenges. It seemed like they were almost actively looking for difficulty, treating it like some kind of fun.
Fun. That sounds counterintuitive when things are genuinely hard. Well, that's where the core metaphor kicks in. Life is a video game.
Okay. Here we go.
Think about it. Any great video game, any game you really love, it can't be easy, right? It needs locked doors, tricky puzzles, unexpected plot twists.
Enemies that get tougher as you go.
Exactly. Enemies that get progressively harder. If you just use a cheat code or find some easy hack to win instantly,
you ruin the game. It's boring.
You ruin the game. Absolutely. The difficulty, the struggle, that's precisely what makes it rewarding, what makes it worth playing.
Yeah, I get that. If you beat some epic game on your very first try, you'd feel cheated. You'd probably uninstall it.
Totally. The fun is actually in, well, sucking at it for a bit. Losing lives, figuring things out, then coming back slightly better, slightly smarter to tackle the next level.
So the game structure itself is like a curriculum. Failure isn't really failure, it's just data.
Failure is data.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the source gets personal here. The speaker reflects on their own really tough experiences, like dealing with an alcoholic father or losing their father at 15.
Wow. Yeah. Those are incredibly painful things.
No doubt. But the reflection wasn't, I wish that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
It was more like, I wouldn't actually trade those experiences.
Really? Why?
Because they forged something. Resilience, character, things that maybe wouldn't have developed otherwise. It led to this powerful conclusion. The challenges weren't random punishments brought to him. They were brought for him, specifically for his growth.
For him. That's a big shift.
It is. And look, this isn't just a nice metaphor to feel better. It's actually backed up by, well, physical reality. This is where we shift from philosophy to some actual biology. Proof of why stress is essential.
Okay, I'm listening. What's the proof?
Well, the most obvious one is the muscle analogy. Your muscles, your physical muscles, they only grow when you stress them, right? When you
Oh,
lift weights heavy enough to cause tiny little micro tears.
right, the stress response.
That stress signals the body, hey, we need to rebuild this stronger. If you want to get stronger, you have to keep adding weight, adding resistance, no stress, no strength. It's simple.
Okay, physical muscles. Got it. How does that translate mentally?
So internally, we look at the brain, specifically a region called the anterior cingulate cortex, the ACC.
The ACC. Okay, what does that do?
Think of it as the brain's hub for internal strength. It handles things like focus, regulating your emotions, and just sheer willpower. Grit.
And what makes that part grow? Don't tell me it's stress.
It's stress, but a specific kind. The ACC grows when you deliberately make yourself do something difficult that you really don't want to do.
Ah, so it's the friction, the self-discipline muscle.
Exactly. It's the friction of pushing through resistance. We actually know that professional athletes, people who consistently push their limits in training, whether they feel like it or not, they tend to have larger, more developed ACCs.
That makes complete sense. The part of the brain that handles difficulty gets stronger by handling difficulty.
Right. So if you try to design a life that's all comfort, zero resistance, you're basically starving the part of your brain responsible for mental toughness. You're keeping it weak.
Wow.
And there's more. The source mentions studies on people struggling with obesity who commit to really hard, sustained changes, like major diet shifts, tough exercise routines.
Okay.
As they build that habit, that discipline of overriding impulse, guess what happens? Measurable growth in the ACC. They literally build resilience in their brain, which helps them handle stress better long term.
So physical strength needs resistance. Mental strength needs resistance. The challenges, the things in life that feel like bugs or glitches.
They're actually essential features. They're evidence you're being trained, not punished.
Trained, not punished. I like that.
And this leads us right into this monumental philosophical choice.
Yeah.
It dictates how you interpret that training. The source brings up a thought often attributed to Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Which is basically, the most important decision you'll ever make is whether you believe you live in a friendly or a hostile universe.
Whoa. That feels huge. And maybe a bit simplistic. Like if you faced real trauma or systemic unfairness, isn't it kind of insulting to just say, oh, choose friendly and it's all good? What about genuine, unavoidable pain?
That's a critical point, and the source addresses it directly. This isn't about ignoring real pain. It's definitely not about what some people call toxic positivity.
Right, like standing in a burning house saying, this is fine.
Exactly. It's not that. It's about choosing your interpretation of the setbacks, even the really painful ones. It's about the meaning you assign.
Okay, so break down the difference in interpretation, hostile versus friendly.
Okay, if you choose hostile, the underlying belief is, the universe is rigged against me. Every obstacle is a punishment. Every mistake just proves I'm a failure.
So if you hit traffic.
The thought is, of course, the world is deliberately slowing me down. You lose a job. See? Proof I was never good enough anyway. You're always defensive, just waiting for the next bad thing to happen.
Okay, that sounds exhausting. And if you choose friendly?
You choose mental resilience. The interpretation flips. That same traffic jam. It becomes, okay, maybe this is just a redirection. Gives me 5 extra minutes to think or listen to this deep dive. You lose the job. The thought isn't, I'm a failure. It might be, okay, this is incredibly hard, but maybe it's forcing a transition to something better that I was too scared to pursue myself.
So the event, the traffic, the job loss, it's the same event. It's neutral. But the story you tell yourself about it determines whether it builds bitterness or builds strength.
Exactly. That's the core shift. Moving from this is happening to me to this is happening for me.
For me.
For your development. It's about trusting that the curriculum, the game, is perfectly crafted. It implies that the specific difficulties you're facing right now, they're designed to teach you the specific skills you need for your next level. They're not random. They're tailored.
Wow. Okay. That philosophical shift has got to lead to some really practical changes in how you talk to yourself day to day. Let's get into those specifics. What does that new internal voice sound like?
Yeah, the immediate actionable thing is shifting from labeling yourself to labeling the skill gap.
Okay, example.
Old mindset. I suck at negotiating. That's an identity statement, right? It says something permanent about you.
Right. I'm just not a negotiator.
The new mindset says, okay, I just need to get better at negotiating this specific type of deal. See the difference?
Yeah, it's huge. Subtle, but huge. I suck invites giving up. I need to get better invites strategy, learning, practice.
It's the difference between being a victim of the situation and an engineer of the solution.
Okay, what's another shift?
Handling the difficulty itself. The old victim mindset complains, this shouldn't be so hard. Why is it always harder for me?
Yep, heard that one in my head before.
The new, resilient mindset says, okay, this is supposed to be hard. That's the point. That's how I build the skill, the character, whatever it is I need. The difficulty isn't an obstacle to the path. The difficulty is the path.
The difficulty is the path. Wow. Okay. And what about feeling like you're falling behind everyone else? That's a big one.
Oh, huge. The old voice is constantly screaming, I'm so behind in life, look at them.
Comparisonitis?
Yeah, the new mindset reframes it. I'm just at an earlier part of my game. This is where adopting a beginner's mind is so crucial.
Beginner's mind.
Yeah. When you accept yourself as a beginner at something new or difficult, you accept that failure isn't just possible, it's necessary. It's part of the learning process.
Like a toddler learning to walk. They fall constantly. They might cry, but they don't decide, well, guess I'm a failure at walking, I quit.
Exactly. They don't label themselves. Falling is just data collection. They get back up, adjust, try again.
So if you view yourself as a beginner, trying a new level, maybe starting a business, learning an instrument.
Failure is expected. It's part of the training manual. But if you see yourself as an imposter who should already know how to do it,
then the first stumble confirms your worst fears and you're likely to quit.
Immediately. Validates the I'm not good enough story.
Okay, let's make this super practical. Quick scenario. You've got a big, stressful work presentation. You're dreading it. Old mindset versus new mindset. Go.
Okay. Old mindset. Oh, God, I hope I don't screw this up. I'm terrible at public speaking. If this goes badly, everyone's going to know I'm faking it. Huge anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Because your identity feels like it's on the line.
Totally. Feels like Judgment Day. New mindset.
New mindset. Okay. This presentation is my next level boss fight.
Ha! I love it.
The anxiety I feel, that's just the level loading screen.
Okay.
This difficulty, this pressure, it's designed specifically to teach me how to manage stress, how to structure an argument clearly, how to connect with people even when I'm uncomfortable. The anxiety isn't a stop sign anymore.
It's a signal that the ACC is about to get a workout.
Exactly. It's go time, training time.
That level loading screen idea,
It's said.
that completely changes how you act, doesn't it? Instead of trying to avoid the presentation or hoping it gets canceled.
Yeah. You lean in, you prepare differently. Maybe you study people who are good at it, you practice, you trust the process. You know you might stumble, but you keep coming back until you learn the pattern, figure out how to beat this specific level.
It really is the definition of mastery, isn't it? Realizing you can't skip the hard levels.
You can't skip them because the hard levels are the game. They're the curriculum content.
Okay, so let's bring this home. The final takeaway for you, listening right now. If your game feels really hard at the moment, if you feel overwhelmed, if challenges seem to be piling up,
Do not take that as proof that you're losing or that life's rigged against you.
instead,
See it as powerful evidence. Evidence that you are being invited, strongly invited to get better, to level up.
because resisting the challenge, complaining about the difficulty,
Yeah, it just keeps you stuck on the current level. You can't unlock the next skills, the next stage of the game until you beat this one. So embrace the difficulty.
And remember, the ultimate prize for playing this game well, for facing the challenges and leveling up, it's not some external reward like a trophy or reaching the final screen.
No. The real reward is the person you become along the way. The resilient, capable, skilled person forged in the fires of those challenges.
So here's a final thought to chew on until our next deep dive. If your life truly is this perfectly crafted curriculum designed specifically for your growth, what specific skill, maybe it's patience, maybe communication, financial discipline, courage, forgiveness, what skill do you think your single biggest challenge right now is perfectly designed to teach you next?